At 12, we have the Detroit Lions. The Jahmyr Gibbs pick is just bad. There's no other way to look at it. At least they traded back from 6. Reports were that they were ready to take Gibbs at 6, which would have been one of the worst picks in recent memory. There's nothing to do with Gibbs. We think he's a very good prospect. He had our second round guy, but or our second running back. But wow, was this a shocker? This may have been the biggest shock in the first round. Christian Gonzalez was right there, and it seemed like such a natural fit. They traded back and skipped on Gonzalez, and he made it back to them at 12. And we thought it was a sure thing. And instead, they go get Jahmyr Gibbs and sequentially trade DeAndre Swift to Philly. But does Gibbs offer that much more than Swift? I mean, obviously, Swift's been hurt, but Gibbs isn't a big guy. Like, don't act like he's this massive running back that can be a bell cow. I think he's going to catch a ton of passes. I think he's going to get his fair share of carries. His comp is Alvin Kamara. It was the easiest one in all of the draft this year. But, I mean, I don't know. This is hard. Running backs, again, like we've talked about with Bijan, taken in the first round, it just doesn't seem to work out for teams. And I don't know. They could have had Christian Gonzalez and Jack Campbell. Their 18th pick at Jack Campbell, we don't hate it. He makes sense to Detroit. It's still a little bit of a reach, but the Gibbs pick just it's not good. And they could have traded back again and amassed more draft capital, or they could have taken him with their pick 34, which was Sam Laporta, who was our top receiving tight end. He was our number 2 overall, but our number 1 receiving tight end. So again, we don't hate that pick. We love it, but it's just very questionable for a team that's drafted very well otherwise.
Yeah, pick 45, the Lions took Alabama's nickelback safety hybrid Brian Branch. Really did not like this pick at first, especially after Branch fell out of the first. It was kind of a weird fit considering Detroit had just brought in Gardner Johnson, who actually was our comp for Branch. Although after some internet surfing this morning, people were saying that it could be the out on Tracy Walker. So like Gardner Johnson and Joseph will play safety, Branch in the nickel, which I think makes a lot more sense for the people who were speculating Branch was going to kick out to corner. That's just way too big of an adjustment for someone who runs a 4.5 and has played safety most of his life.
Yeah, and value alone, though, that is a great pick no matter what. Like, to get Brian Branch at 45 is amazing. And then they went and got Hendon Hooker in round 3. I didn't have him as a first-round prospect, but I have no problem with him here. You got to wait and see how the knee is healing for him to see how it affects his athleticism. But if Goff fails, if they feel like they need to get out of that contract, Hooker is a great replacement. He's the same as Goff, except more athletic. So I have no problem with this. And then Broderick Martin, it's not a bad pick, but we would have rather seen them get a pure pass rusher at tackle, like Adebaware, to pair next to their big 300-pounders. He doesn't add anything new to the room, but it's not an awful pick either.